Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So in this video I'm going to tell you some reasons why I think you should pick up the Note 7 over the OnePlus 3. So, and also before you get to leaving comments, check the link in the description because you'll see the same video in reverse. Now, the first reason I want to tell you, I would say that you should get the Note 7 over the OnePlus 3. I'm pointing right at it. It's the screen. I've got the same picture loaded up here. And this is just a gorgeous display, hands down. It is just a beautiful display. This is an AMOLED display, but this is a super AMOLED display. Colors are very vibrant and punchy on this. And this is also a Quad HD display too. So you've got more pixels here and it can produce a sharper picture, clearer. It just looks really, really good on the on the Note 7. The OnePlus 3 has a fantastic screen, but it's just not measuring up to the Samsung display. Samsung just makes the best displays ever. I mean, I'm talking about really good, very sharp. Next, this phone is extremely feature rich. You've got the S Pen suite, and you've got all the functionalities of the Samsung TouchWiz. TouchWiz can be a pro and a con because let's just stick to the pro side. It's feature rich. The OnePlus is more of a standard, no overlay, and some people might like this, but I think a lot of people I've heard a lot of people say, I want features, you know, I've got this big screen and, you know, I'm not really being able to take advantage of it. Well, the Samsung Suite and TouchWiz, it definitely takes advantage of all of the features, all of this real estate that it's taken, that it has here. S Pen alone is just a bonus. You know, that's just great. Next, another reason I would tell you to get this phone over this one, and this is just based on, and this isn't me. This is on a side. I did like a little survey, and a lot of people felt this was really functional. The iris scanner, being able to unlock your phone multiple ways. Some people, I found out that people really like the iris scanner. People gave me great reasons to why they would choose the iris scanner over the fingerprint reader. And while the OnePlus 3 has a fast fingerprint reader, the iris scanner is another way to unlock this phone. And it's, you know, it's something that people really enjoy. So I felt like, you know, it needed to be added in here. I know it's a part of the features, but it's actually a part of the hardware. So software and hardware, but it has the hardware built in for an iris scanner. So, you know, that's just one of those things that I talked to the people. They said, hey, you know, the iris scanner is a boss. It's definitely something that should be considered a pro. And so there it is, the iris scanner. Some people feel like it's very nice to use over the fingerprint reader. And hey, I gotta admit, it is pretty cool. Next are the cameras. The cameras on the Note 7. And I immediately switched over to this back camera because this camera is for it to be just a 12 megapixel. We all know megapixels only mean so much. This has a 16 megapixel camera, but this camera just produces some really good footage. Now there are some limitations for some reason. 60 frames per second and 4K are limited to 10 minutes. I just don't understand that. But you won't run into that problem with the OnePlus 3 at all. Now, unfortunately, the OnePlus 3 does not shoot in 1080p at 60 frames per second, and that's my favorite way to shoot video. So the edge definitely goes to the Note 7. No pun intended, the edge. Yeah, the Note 7 front and rear cameras are just gorgeous. I think you'll be really impressed with both of these if you decide to pick them up. The front and the rear is what I mean. Now, the OnePlus 3 has fantastic cameras, don't get me wrong. But the Note 7's cameras, just like the S7 Edge and the S7, they have fantastic cameras. Now, lastly, one thing that the Note 7 has the advantage over the OnePlus 3 is it has an SD card slot. Now, I didn't talk about water resistant and all that stuff. You know, to me, that kind of goes into the hardware and feature set. So, yeah, those are advantages to pick up this phone over this phone. Water resistant, you know, things like that. You know, it's cool. But that's really not a selling point anymore to me. You know, the phone, I wet this phone this morning when I was getting out of the shower. I just wiped it off and kept it moving. I didn't really care. And it still works. So, but I wouldn't dunk it in water. Let's be clear on that. I'm not dunking it in water. No way. However, this has an SD card slot. It has 64 gigs built in. This has 64 gigs built in. Now, again, this is not so much that important to me. However, I reached out to the people. I post polls everywhere, and I ask people, what is important to you? You know, and some people said, I just gotta have that SD card. So this phone has an SD card with 64 gigs built in, so that's a huge plus. So real short and brief and to the point, those are some reasons I think you should pick up the Note 7 over the OnePlus 3. Now, hit the link in the description and see what I think about the OnePlus 3 over the Note 7. Let's go.